Today in this video we will work together to transform a big seashell like this one into a custom, original, one-of-a-kind handmade candle. Feel free to follow along, will be fun. I was playing with an idea to make a seashell candle for a while. One day when I was browsing eBay for used stuff, I came across a listing where a guy was selling a bag of shells for a few dollars. The pictures were not clear and gave me no reference to what size the shells are, but I have decided to take the risk and made the purchase. The amount of shells I have received was more than I was expecting, and I got a large variety of different sizes and shapes. Here I have laid down only the ones which I am considering to be using today. They are all beautiful, but unfortunately not all the openings on these shells are suitable for candle making. The openings in most cases is very narrow, and potentially I could be able to pour the wax into the shell and even secure the wick, but I would be running into a risk of flame constantly touching the shell surface, potentially overheating it, possibly introducing a safety hazard, and we don't want to risk that. That's why, but also maybe because it is my first seashell candle, I will play it safe and will choose a seashell which to me would be the safest to use as a candle, but also the easiest one to turn into a candle. I am looking at the candle from all possible angles and trying to imagine how the candle would look like on a shelf in a living room. Yes, imagination is very important in this choosing process. What do you guys think about this one? Its shape, size and color would make it perfect for a custom soy wax candle in my opinion. I don't have to worry about flame burning any of seashell surface. The flat shape would make sure the melted wax would not spill over. Also, its decent size will make it a noticeable decor in any room. Smaller candles, even though beautiful, are not suitable as a decoration in large open spaces because they would simply get lost in space. However, you will not have this problem with this beautiful seashell. For a moment I was thinking about what color dye to use for this candle. I will try to follow the rule that sometimes less is more, and I am deciding to go with the natural soy wax color. Its white, milky, buttery surface would go very nicely with this light color seashell. When it comes to scent, in the last couple of videos for some reason I was always choosing vanilla. So today for a change, let's go with lavender. I am using a double boiler pot by Craft Evolved. The link will be in the description. Because I am not adding any coloring, I will just go ahead and add one whole bag of soy wax. The nice thing about the wax is that it can be reused. If I melt the whole bag of wax and don't use it all, I can just leave the remaining wax in a pot and get back to it when I will be ready to make another candle, and I will simply warm up the wax and will be able to continue where I left off last time. If I used coloring, I would try to make sure I use the whole batch of colored wax so that next time I am making a candle, I am not forced to continue with the same color I have used last time. Look at this wax. It feels so nice just to hold it in your hands and feel its texture and buttery consistency. The wax is 100% natural, so you don't need to be wearing any protective gloves or anything. Okay, let's prepare electric cooker. Before we start the wax melting process, let's just make sure we know how we want to arrange the wicks. Once the wax starts melting, the whole candle making process will be finished before you know it. That's why it is important you do the preparation before the wax is hot. Then the rest of the crafting is very quick and smooth. Perhaps I could go just with one wick, but since the seashell is large enough, it can handle 3. I think it will turn out nicer. We will be using a double boiler method to melt the wax. You should always use this method, otherwise you are running into risk of wax catching on fire. You place a small pot on electric cooker, put about a cup of water into the pot, and then the double boiler pot with wax. Now let's prepare the seashell for the wax. We start with securing wicks to the shell. We do it by dipping the wick into the hot wax and then place the wick on the desired spot. The wax will act as glue and will secure the wick in its place. The wax pouring temperature should be around 55 degrees Celsius, and based on my experience, it will not melt the wick's point of attachment to the seashell. It should stay in its place. If it's moving, your wax is most likely too hot when poured into the seashell. Now when the liquid wax is in its place, we can see that we did not place the wicks in the best spots possible. They are not symmetric, and the one on the left is in a very shallow edge. I will need to readjust the position. Because we were securing the wicks only by using wax, it will be easy to move them around. But at least you can clearly see the wicks are really well secured, and I need to use a stick to break the bond with the shell surface. Look how well they hold in its positions and don't want to move. One would think the wax would barely hold, but that's not what I see here. The wax is really keeping a strong grip on these wicks. Okay, this looks better. Now give it a moment to cool. Depending on the amount of wax, you may need to wait overnight. In this case, because I was not using too much wax, and the wax is laid out across a larger area which allows a quicker heat loss, the wax will be solid in about an hour. Let's take a look how cooling of a wax looks like when we speed it up a little bit. I'm still being careful and testing if the wax is liquid under the surface. Great, looks like the wax has cooled and is completely solid. When working with wax, always keep your work area protected. You may get some wax drops, which are very easy to be removed once the wax is cooled. Just use your fingernail. And this is how the custom handmade seashell candle looks like. Let's give it a short trim to make the wick length even, and we are ready to put it on a display in our house or pack it and use it as a gift. I hope after watching this video, you will get more creative ideas how to make your perfect custom candle for your home decoration. I would be very happy if you share with me pictures of your work and post them on my Facebook page. If you have any comments or questions, please post them below. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in my next video.